So without further ado, I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Ellis. He's our community spotlight for tonight. So let me read his bio as he comes up. So Jan Ellis Jr. was born and raised in Houston, Texas. He is a Prairie View A&M University graduate with a Master's of Science in Artificial Intelligence, Electrical Engineering, and a Bachelor in Computer Engineering. His career map includes roles at John Deere, NASA, and HP. He is interested in various aspects of engineering, but also appreciates literature and history and the arts. Jan is a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. He has served the community in various forms ranging from mentorship to volunteer service. He's an advocate for higher education. He plans to inspire the youth and keep inspiring our youth. He enjoys playing various sports, video games, going to amusement parks, and modifying cars. His full career as an engineer, he plans to retire as a professor at an HBCU and assist the development of our next leaders. So without further ado, Mr. Jan Ellis.
Hey everybody, hey.
You said you began your journey early part of the Lee Summer Program in Precinct 1 through El Franco Lee?
Correct.
In Harris County?
Yes.
So what was the experience like, and what lessons stayed with you from that summer program?
For starters, that if you are familiar with Precinct 1 programs, the Harris County, it's no longer called the El Franco Lee program. There was a name change, but that is such a rich program. I spent a lot of quality time with that program, primarily in this location actually, when I was a outreach coordinator for the Summer Games program. So I'm not sure if that resonates with anyone here, but if you're active in a program, the kids love it. And that was my first taste in mentorship as a college student. Working with that program, they sent us throughout various areas so that we could give them summer enrichment through the form of sports and activities, but also just developing a relationship with them and giving them an alternative view of what you could be doing, namely with me being an engineering student at the time.
Okay, so I read some things about you along the way. You had to make some road less traveled sacrifices. You had to make some choices to secure your career. So can you share one or two pivotal decisions you made that really made a difference for you?
Absolutely. The first one was to embrace being the nerd. And I know I don't look like a nerd right now, but that's part of my platform. Primarily, growing up in the area I grew up in, Acres Homes, it's a very different type of environment, but I am very active to be the change I want to see, primarily around showing our youth that you can be your authentic self, where for me it's Jordans, graphic t-shirts. I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with the Red Tails, but some great legacy there. But showing them an alternative view of what an engineer can look like. The cool nerd is my moniker, so that way they can identify with themselves, but also aspire to have academic success.
Okay.
Definitely a road less travel decision. I'm not sure if you're familiar with public schools, but nerds get kind of a bad rap, but that's where I go in and do my best work. Additionally, another road less travel decision was to sacrifice myself. I put a lot of effort into not being selfish, but being selfless, showing up in my community. It's very easy to get lost into what your goals are, your career, but taking time to do stuff like this has always been a great pour back opportunity. My hope is that you all will go out and I know an engineer that looks like you, that understands you, and it's possible. Because a lot of them, they only see a type A personality for what an engineer can be, and I'm very confident in my ability with my skill set, and I like Jordans.
I love them too, I love them too.
Thank you.
So as a STEM influencer and advocate, how do you make it relatable for students and educators, or for parents to even understand like what their children are going into?
Absolutely, great question. When we think about STEM, primarily AI, I'm sure you all have heard about AI. It's being presented as this really great or really bad thing, depending on where you stand or your ability to understand it. That's why I get in and do the work, because I want you all to understand that artificial intelligence is not this new thing. It's been going on since 1952, but it's just become readily accessible for us. but it's quite literally math equations on a computer that are repeatable. So how you get that funny picture on Facebook is an equation that's being ran back to back in image manipulation. Starting off right there is the first entry point in how I establish the conversation so that people can feel comfortable with doing the work there. And then kind of pushing them to care about math, but making it relatable, because it's not just limited to the algorithms, but how you perceive data, how you present it, and how you share it. I have taught artificial intelligence classes through kindergarten all the way through professionals. And you'd be surprised that it was easier to teach kindergartners how to do an AI model than someone who was about to retire, because their brains are a lot more flexible, if you will. Not that they didn't have the ability.
I'm one of those people.
I make it really fun. I have an AI presentation, and I start off with a picture of Allen Iverson to kind of break the ice, but then going into how to really understand the algorithm. And I share that on my social media as well. So to put a bow on it, my platform, STEMfluence, is to show people how you can bridge the gap of a lot of kids want to be streamers or they want to be influencers, but I have a day job and I do the influence in moments like these, and it's been really rewarding.
Yes, awesome. All right, so next question. Can you share a time when a personal mistake turned into a valuable lesson for your professional or personal growth?
Can I give you both?
You can.
Okay, we're gonna get personal here. So for me, I'm a very sociable, outgoing person. I really struggled to have that balance. I was blessed with a brain and I knew how to use it, but I did not have a good temperament of how to manage my free time as well as my priorities. I was the type of student that I could wait till Thursday to do a project that was due Monday and go to the party on campus throughout the whole weekend. Now that's very difficult to work with students with conflicting interests, but that road less traveled taught me a lot of hard lessons early. That's why I'm bald right now. Either that or my dad, but another conversation. Professionally, some of the struggles that I had to overcome was adapting to my authentic self. Because a lot of times when we enter these professional spaces, we have to acquiesce to the environment. I've often found that me showing up as my authentic self allows me to identify community and people that want to push for the initiatives that I have. It's never personal, it's just prioritization. And that was a huge opportunity for me to grow because I learned who really cared about hearing what I did the weekend prior and who just wanted to get a case built up on if I was working hard. And with me having a niche, and what I mean by niche is there are very few individuals who can say they have a master's in artificial intelligence with a published thesis, contributing to academia. You'd be hard pressed to find one with my skin tone as well as my eclectic interests. So those challenges really show up. And even moments like this, I don't think anyone would have imagined that I had a master's in artificial intelligence if you saw me showing up. But that's why I do what I do, so that we can start to demystify what that looks like.
So one last question, because we are about the youth. So I see two here and there's some. I see Ethan. Hi, Ethan. Good student. So if you could give one piece of advice to a young person in the room or that's not here, what would it be if they wanted to follow your similar path or explore something new? What would that one piece of advice be?
The advice that has kept me outside of my faith, because I feel like that's a given.
Yes.
But for me personally, it's getting comfortable doing the stuff you don't like to do. For me, I hated math, but I learned to love it because I saw it as an opportunity. The same way it was for a video game, the same way it was for social interest or playing sports. I put the pressure I had on myself to get good at those eclectic things so that I can be really qualified at what I love. And once I fell in love with that process of quite literally beating myself, if you will, it helped me matriculate academically, and that just led to me identifying how to balance my social goals and stuff like that. Because I feel like that's one of the biggest misconceptions within my industry, that there aren't people who have interests outside of computers all day. I have coworkers that perform in rock bands, I have coworkers that do art on the side, all of these different things. And if you leave with nothing, leave with, it's possible, it does require hard work, but the risk is definitely worth the reward and the effort pays off.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ellis.
My pleasure.